The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and welcome to today's HEUG Education Series webinar, HEUG Online for Beginners. My name is Margaret Howe, and I'm with the HEUG Education Series. I'd like to welcome and thank you for attending today. Before we start, just a few housekeeping notes. You are all on mute so that we can hear our speaker today without any background noise. Due to the number of people in attendance, we will take questions at the end of the presentation. If you have a question, please ask your question in the question box found in your GoToMeeting dashboard. We will be able to get to your questions easily from there. Tomorrow we will have the recording of today's presentation available on the HEUG Online for you to access. Today's webinar will be presented by Julie Secor, Senior Account Manager with Associates. Thank you, Julie, for joining us today. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Margaret. Hello, and as Margaret said, we just want to thank you guys for attending this HEUG Online training class for beginners. Through this session, I just hope to give you a better understanding of how to navigate throughout the site and where to go to access the information that you are going to find relevant, as well as how to network with your peers in order to get your questions answered and help you work more efficiently on the site. As Margaret said, if you have any questions as we go along, just go ahead and type them into the question box at the side, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the training. With that being said, we'll just go ahead and get started. As many of you probably already have a login to the site, so we're not going to go through that process too much. But just from time to time, you may actually forget your login, and I just want to show you how to actually get a new one. From this home page here, you'll see this option that says Request Login. If you actually click on that, it's going to bring up a Request Login window. So if you have colleagues or other people at your institution that want to get a login, just have them come out here and request it. If we have your email domain already in our system, it'll automatically send you back a login to the site. So it's a really great way to get other members of your institution involved. If you actually forget your password or you aren't sure what your login is, you can always use our username and password help, which is found under the login button here. And you'll see this username and or password help. If you actually click on this, it'll ask you to enter in the email address. You'll have to enter in the email address that appears as the private email address that we have for you on file. If you go ahead and type that in, it'll say whether or not it finds your profile in the system. If it does find you in the system, it'll show you a button and have an option to send you a new password. So if you ever forget your password, don't hesitate to just come out here and use this tool to get a new login to the site. With that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and log in as a guest user here. So HEUG test. So once you actually log into the site, this is the window that you will see. You'll see featured news stories down here at the bottom, any upcoming public events going on, as well as any public polls that are going on. You'll also see that you have these different buttons available to you in order to just direct you directly to the information that you need to get to. So for instance, here's the HEUG Education Series. You can go ahead and click on that and get all information about the education series here. But once you initially log into the site, you'll want to just spend some time actually familiarizing yourself with the different menu options up here. You can click on any of these different options to actually go to that module within the site. Directly below the menu bar item, you'll see what we call a user bar item. And what the user bar is it's going to show you who you're actually logged in as. So this should always be yourself or your name up here, as well as the institution you belong to. It's always important to keep your information up to date on the HEUG, just so that if you change institutions or you move or you get a new job, just make sure to let us know so we can actually change your primary group and make sure that you are associated with the right institution. On the other side down here, we have two different options. My options are my links. My links are actually internal or external pages on the site that you find that you're referencing a lot. So what you can do is actually use the My Links if you are going to a particular forum or a file library. You can just add that forum or file library directly to your My Links. And what that's going to do is it kind of creates a bookmark for you. So instead of having to house this stuff inside of an Internet Explorer or your web browser, you can actually put it directly into that My Links, and it will always be there for you. The voice is high enough to listen. I'm sorry, there was a question there. So this is another great tool if you are traveling a lot, that you can actually put external links in here. So if you actually find that you're traveling and you want to come in and find, say, CNN.com, you can actually add that to your My Links and be able to get to it directly from inside the site. So it's a great tool if you are traveling. You can use that feature as well. Next to the My Links, you're going to see that your time zone is featured here. It's going to show you the time zone that you are actually in. Another great feature, if you're traveling, you can reset the time zone on the site, and then all of your calendar events, your meetings, anything going on the site will actually convert itself to the time zone that you are in. So you won't have to miss meetings or anything going on the site, important information. Just go ahead and change that time zone feature. The big thing that I want to mention on the user bar here is the My Options. The My Options is really important because it's going to show you all pages that are related to you as a member. So for instance, the first one here that I want to talk about is your personal profile. If you go ahead and click on My Profile, it's going to take you to your actual profile on the site. It's going to show you all of the information about you as a user, and how you're going to actually keep this information up to date is just go ahead and click Edit Profile. And then it's going to allow you to actually edit any of this information. So again, it's just really important to make sure to go ahead and keep those email addresses up to date. Any of the address, your state information, you can actually see. If you want to prevent vendors from sending emails to you, you can check that checkbox here. This is also where you would change your time zone on the site, as well as if you want to add a biography or a user signature. You can do that all from your public profile window. Once you make any of the changes that you have, just go ahead and click OK. And then from there, you'll also see that you have the option of viewing your forum subscriptions. And this is a really great window just to kind of show you what subscriptions you're on, as well as the delivery method for each of those different subscriptions. So once we kind of go through the forums, you'll get a little bit better idea of how to actually use the subscriptions on the site. But just so you're aware that you can actually view them directly from the My Options drop-down, just select the My Subscriptions. And then down here below in the legend, you'll see the different ways to actually receive those emails. If you ever see an email listserv that doesn't have a delete button next to it, that just implies that you are on that list for a specific reason and you cannot remove yourself. Usually, if you're on a board or a committee or a PAG, it's going to automatically subscribe you to the listserv so that you'll stay up to date with that information. So just be aware of those things. The next thing on the My Options that we're going to talk about is the My Page. And the My Page is actually the public information that other people will see about you. So for instance, the profile, only admins and yourself can see it. But the My Page is something that anybody that's searching on you can actually see. So what we've done here is we've built in the ability for you to actually change the visibility settings on this. So say, for example, I've hidden my email address here, but now I actually decide that I want it to show up. I would just edit the visibility settings and change the email to show. And it will also show you the default value here as well. Now you'll see that it's no longer showing up in red text, so anybody that searches for me or finds me on the site, they will actually be able to see that information about me. The other thing on the My Page that you'll just want to be aware of is this is where you would come to update a picture. So again, it's just kind of getting that social networking. The My Page is really just about letting other members see you, find out who you are, and kind of start networking with you that way. So you can update a picture, as well as updating any contact links. And basically what contact links are they are links out to the other social networking sites. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you can actually put these little badges on your My Page so that people can find you on those sites. It's completely optional, so don't feel like you have to, but it is there if you want to actually put that information out there. The lowest part, or the bottom part of the My Page, is actually what we call this user customizable area. You can actually use this area to add different widgets to the page, and what widgets are mini applications. So for instance, we've added a countdown clock, user counts, my favorite blogs. You can add HTML text. Just another way to kind of get you to customize the page and let you kind of get your personal flair out there. So just play around with it a little bit, see what you might want to add, what you might want to remove. It's just out there for you as members to use. The next page, or the next thing that we want to really talk about under My Options, is My Group. This is the actual institution that you belong to. Once you log in, kind of just go through this information, see if it's kept up to date. A lot of the vendors on the site do actually check this information and kind of just want to make sure that they are getting their value out of the site, so they want to see that people are keeping their profiles up to date. I know that there's going to be a really big push for this as well once the membership dues starts going live. You'll want to just have all of this information filled out. So once you actually get inside the site, just kind of look around at the different menus, look at your personal options, make sure all of this information is up to date. It'll really help out on the site. After you have familiarized yourself with your own area on the site, we encourage you to first begin browsing through the different communities. And if I click on the Communities tab, I'll actually see all of the different communities that I have access to. Each Oracle product is listed as its own separate community, so you can easily access the information regarding one specific product area. If I go ahead and click on Product Area Communities, here are these different Oracle modules, and I'll see that I have access to any of these public communities to get involved with. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Grants, Contracts, and Billings so you can see what a community looks like. You'll see that it has a description about the community as well as any posts that the PAG has made to their public blog here. So you can kind of be kept up to date on what the PAG is doing for you in that particular module. But there's 3 different areas to each community page. There's the forums, the file library, and then issue tracking. We're kind of going to go through each one and how to actually use the different feature on the site. So we'll go ahead and start with the forums here. And the forums on the site are basically two-way discussion lists that allow you to engage with other members on the site. So they allow you to stay involved, ask questions, and receive help from your peers across the entire HEUG group. So the forums are our biggest way for you to get involved. They're great because you can participate 2 ways, and we're going to go into each of those different ways. The first way to get involved is to come directly online and click on this Add Thread button. When you click on Add Thread, you're basically going to add a new post to the forum. You'll see at the top the forum information will appear. It's going to show you whether or not you're subscribed. If you aren't subscribed, you're not going to receive an email from the listserv. It's also going to show you how many users that are going to receive the email once you release it, so how many people are actually subscribed to the email list, and then where the replies are going to go to. So you'll be able to see that general overview information about the different forums. Now, in the subject line, you'll just go ahead and type in a subject. So this is a test. We'll just type that in, and then you can enter your message. This is a test. Then you can also use the different icons here to actually format your forum thread. So if you want to bold information, italicize it, you can do that as well. You'll see these different text editor boxes across the site, so it's just really great to familiarize yourself with how they work. The biggest icon here that I'm going to stress is this Paste as Plain Text box. If you've ever used Microsoft Word or another word formatting software, you'll know that they put in style tags into their documents. Basically what style tags do are they control the formatting of the document. When you actually copy and paste directly into our text editor boxing, those style tags can mess up the formatting for our different posts. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and copy and paste it as plain text. That's going to strip out all of those different style tags, and then you can use each of these different formatting options to format it how you want it to appear. Once you actually get your message all set up down here, you can decide if you want to add an attachment. So if this is a meeting announcement or something else like that, you can go ahead and click the Add button. Once you've actually set up your message, you can click the Preview Thread. And it'll show you down here at the bottom, this is a sample of your thread. This is how it's going to show up. These are the updates. So you can either choose to change it again, so edit it and click Preview Changes, and it'll show you the new changes. You can choose to release the thread. This is going to actually send the thread out. You can send a test email to yourself so you can see how it's going to look in your email Outlook box, or you can choose to cancel the thread. So that's how you would come online and actually add a thread. Once you release it, it's going to go out to everybody subscribed, like I said, so that would be that 494 number up here. But if you actually want to subscribe yourself to the forum, you can actually participate via email. And that's the biggest way that we encourage people to get involved, just because it's not going to require you to come online. So once you actually go through your communities and you find the actual Oracle products that you're interested in or the different forums that you want to get information on, just go ahead and click on this plus sub button. What that's going to do is actually subscribe you to the listserv, and it'll show you in your My Subscription window that you're subscribed to it. And then in the different forums, if I come back to my community page, in all of the forums, you'll find at the top, you'll have an email address. Now that I'm subscribed to the forum, I can actually send in an email to this email address. The forum posting will be posted online as well as be sent out to all members. So again, it's a great way to get involved without actually having to log in. That's one of the biggest ways to get involved. The other option you have in the forums is actually subscribing yourself via an RSS feed. If you're familiar with that and you like to use that feature as well, you can use that. So just come online, kind of get familiarized with the forums and see how that feature works. Again, just be careful if you're going to send out an announcement or a message to really note how many people you're sending it out to, as well as making sure that you actually preview it and see that different formatting option. So the second area on the community page that I want to talk about are the file libraries. And the file libraries appear directly underneath the forum, and I'll just go ahead and click into one of the file libraries here. And there's no files in this one, so we'll click into another one. Okay, so these are all of the different files that have been uploaded to the site. If you actually want to click on a file, you can see all of the information about that file, including a description as well as who's actually posted it. So you can see here the different names of the people that have posted it. The description will help you just show you what the actual file is about. If you want to add a new file to this file library, just use this Add File link in the links box, and it'll open up this window. It'll allow you to enter in all the information about the file. So you'll just enter in a title for your file, a description, just a note about the effective date. That doesn't actually change when the actual file is posted. It just actually, what it does is it tells everyone when the actual file is going into effect. So the biggest thing here is, for instance, bylaws or other certain rules. Say you want to post them before they actually go into effect, you can change this date, and it'll just show people when these bylaws or rules are actually going into effect. So you may not ever have to use it, but it is there if you need to. Your owning group will always default to your specific group. You can change it if you have access to other groups on the site. And then the category and topic should always default into the file library that you're looking at, so you might not ever have to change that as well. So one great thing about our file libraries is it actually allows you to categorize or cross-list a file into 3 different file libraries. So say, for example, the financials PAG or the grants management PAG and another PAG on the site are actually working on a file together. In order to cross-list it, you just click Expand, and then find the other file library that you're working with. So if it's e-business, you could add that there as well. Then to actually add your file, just click Add, and then browse for the file. So for instance, we're going to add this file out here. And then you'll see down here at the bottom that you have the ability to change your download options. So if you do have rules or other things on the site that you want to change or that you don't want people to change, you can select this PDF only. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to, members are going to be forced to only be able to download the PDF of the actual file. So they won't actually get the original, just the PDF. So you can change the different download options there. Another great feature about our file libraries is that you can add additional files to one single file entry. So say, again, you've had a meeting and you have meeting minutes, you have an agenda, you have other meeting notes that you want to add. You can actually add that to one specific file entry, and then other members on the site only have to visit one particular place in the file library. So to add an additional file, I would just click Add and browse for it. So we'll add this one up here. And now you see that we've got our two files here, and we're cross-listing it, and we're ready to upload our file. Once we're ready to upload, just go ahead and click OK. For now, I'm just going to click Cancel. But you'll see once we come back to our community page, you'll be able to see that your files are going to show up exactly like this. Exactly like this. And then you also see over here on the side that you have the different download options. Another thing that we have available to you is add link to a file. Basically, instead of actually uploading a document to our web or our site, we're actually going to allow you to basically just put a link to a file. I know sometimes the government has really big files that they house on their servers on their sites, and you might want to reference it without actually having to download the document and then re-uploading it. So if you do find a file like that on an external site somewhere, you can go ahead and use that Add Link to File button as well. That's a little bit about the file library. Another thing I just want to mention about the file library is when you upload a file, we actually scan the entire contents of the document. So that's a really great feature for people that are actually searching on that information, because it's going to pick up those certain keywords or other information that's actually in the document. So it's not just what you write in the description or the title. We are actually scanning the entire document. So again, it's great for search purposes, but it is another great feature out there that you have access to. So if we come back to our community page, under Product Area Communities, we'll just come back into our community. The last area on the site is what we call the Issue Tracker. The Issue Tracker system is a chance for you as Oracle users to report bugs or fixes that you find within the system. So it's primarily used to submit an enhancement request to an Oracle or PeopleSoft application. This actual issue tracking tool doesn't replace the actual Oracle reporting process, but it is a way for you to actually leverage the HUG and be able to put your issue out there, and then other members of the HUG can actually vote on the issue. They can comment on the issue. So say somebody at another institution has found a workaround, they could actually email you and let you know how to actually perform those functions. It's just a great way for you guys to all kind of get together and say, hey, these are our big issues. This is what we need fixed. And then what they do is once a year at the Alliance Conference, each of the different PAGs pay attention to what is submitted, and they try to leverage those issues up to Oracle. So it's just another great way for you to kind of have a voice within the HUG to kind of say what your issues are and have them be heard. One thing about the issue tracker to mention is that it's should not be used to ask general how-to questions about the products. So it really is more of a, this is a bug, this is an issue, this is an enhancement, not more of a how do I do this, how do I do that. So you can also browse through these different issues. You can click on them. You can read about the issue. You can see their description, any of the information that they've put in about the issue, and then you can actually vote on the different issues or enter the comments here. So you might be interested in staying up to date on a particular issue. You can do that directly through the website. That's a little bit about Issue Tracker. It's pretty complex system here, but you can also see it's pretty easy to work around and navigate through it. Just add comment, generate PDF if you want to actually print it out. So just kind of come in here and see what issues are out there. Maybe you want to vote or comment on them and see how they work that way. Those are the three main content areas on the site. If you are a power user and you already know the information that you're looking for, you can always bypass the community page directly, and you'll see up here at the top we do have forums, files, and issues listed. So if you know the forum that you're looking for, just go ahead and click on forums, and it'll show you all of the same forums. So very easily you can come in and see HRMS forum and come in and be able to read all of the threads that way as well. So each of these different tabs up here at the top are just a faster way to get to the information. You'll also know that if you are looking for something specific, you can always use our search. If you go ahead and click on the search here, you'll be able to see that you can search across entire site modules. So again, this is where those files come in handy, but you can also search across forums, the issue tracker, blogs, wikis, any of those different modules you can search across. Just simply type in the keyword of what you're searching for. So we'll just say grants here, search the site. And it's going to actually show me all of the different search results of where all of these information can be found. So don't hesitate to use that search window if you know that you're looking for something specific. Another area of the search that's pretty beneficial is to be able to look for other institutions. If I actually search here and say I'm looking for Boston College, I can do that under the group search. And once I click on that, I can see all of the information about this particular institution. Another great reason this is beneficial is that you can then view the key contacts. If I click on this, it's going to actually show me the functional and technical contacts. So say, for example, I'm looking for somebody in payroll that is close to the implementation that I'm on or has maybe information about how to do certain things on the site. I can go ahead and click on the name here and be taken to her My Page. If she has her email listed, I can go ahead and get that information and contact her directly. So the key contacts on the group profiles are a great way if you know that somebody is on a particular implementation that matches up with what you guys are doing at your institution. You'll also see up here at the top that you have access to take different surveys and polls on the site. There's general surveys and general polls. So just kind of come online and see if there's anything that you want to answer or respond to there. Pretty easy process. If you click on a poll, you'll see I've already voted for that one. If there's another one that I haven't voted for, it'll show you the answers here. Do I yes, no, not sure? So you can vote for those as well. Some of the other areas of the site that you might want to explore, the big one right now is conferences. The Alliance conference just ended, but there is still information out here. So if you did attend, you can fill out a conference evaluation. If you attended any CPE classes, or if you want to actually download any of the sessions, you can do that as well. Just go ahead and come out to this conference tab and you'll be able to see all of that information. The other area on the site to really just kind of give you some broad overview about the HEUG is this About the HEUG tab. You can see all of the information about the HEUG itself, as well as view the current bylaws and get involved in any of the board and blogs. You can read each of the different PAG blogs or the board blogs. As well as you'll see down here we have information about the education series, so this is probably where you came to get involved that way. We also have a couple of pages for worldwide resources. If you're international and you want to get more information on how to get involved that way, you can view the different areas that we have available to you. And then another tab for new members. So if you are a new member, how do you get started? Where do you go? How do you get help on the site? Each of these different pages will just kind of list some more information about how to get involved and where to go for help. So that's another area to look at once you actually log into the site. The last area that I'm going to talk about here today is the Vendors tab. If I click on Vendors, I'll be able to see each of the different vendors that are on the site. So if I want more information on a particular vendor or topic or information, I can come out here and see this. If you click on any of the actual icons, it'll take you to their particular group profile in the system. So you can get information on how to contact them, who to contact, and kind of what programs or features that they're offering out here. So that's a pretty high-level overview about how to use the site. The biggest thing is that you kind of just have to get in there and start playing around. You can learn by doing. We do also have available for you help. If you click on this help icon here, it'll actually list out step-by-step instructions through the forums, through the files, any of those areas so that you can actually get more involved that way. As well as if at any time you can also, if you click on the contact link down here, it will actually, you'll be able to actually contact the support of the site and you can get more information that way. So I know I went through that kind of quickly. Does anybody have any specific questions about the site or things that they want more information on that they haven't been able to do, or just have questions in general? Okay, well, if no one has any specific questions then, this recording will be available tomorrow, as Margaret said, as well as, like I said, you can always use the help icon or contact the HEUG directly. With that being said, Margaret, do you have anything else to add?
Thank you, Julie. Well, the HEUG would like to thank Julie for putting on today's webinar. Again, the recording will be available on the HEUG Online. Please take a few moments to review the upcoming webinar schedule. Thank you so much for attending, and have a great day.